sing a line and you'll sing it back. Hello, hello, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? Hello, hello, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do today? Welcome to Taking Notes. Let's play that intro song. We're taking notes. We'll have some rhythms and some games. We're taking notes. We'll sing some songs and learn some new things. Welcome to Taking Notes. I'm your host, Miss Bauer, and today we have a couple of segments. We have Playing It by Ear, then I Got Rhythm. We come back to desk for Who Is That Composer? And finally, we have Miso Soup. Let's set up the soundboard. This is our soundboard, and I'm going to play an instrument behind the soundboard, and there's going to be options 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to see which one do you hear. So I'm going to play something behind, and then you have to guess number 1, instrument 2, instrument 3, and then we're going to reveal what it is. So what do you think? Do you think it was number 1, number 2, or number 3? It was number 2. It was a tambourine. Now, a tambourine is a percussion instrument. It's part of the percussion family. It's a part of the auxiliary family. And a tambourine, you can see it has what we call the head, and then it has our bells. This is what makes really the sound. So you hit the head of the drum, and what moves are these metal discs. So how do you hold this? So I hold it with my right hand. So you take your right hand, and you're gonna kind of make a C, and you're gonna lightly place your thumb on the top. I'm not like holding it, because that dampens the sound. It's just lightly placed there. And then my 4 fingers are wrapped around. As you can see, again, they're not pressing the head, because that also dampens the sound. And I hold my tambourine not parallel with the ground and not vertical. I hold it at an angle, and I'm going to take my other hand, I'm going to use my 4 fingers, and I'm going to tap more towards the top. Now you can do lighter taps, like say your finger, or again, I use 4, or you can use your whole hand for louder sounds, but that's very rare. So again, you're going to take your 4 fingers, and you're going to tap. So that's the tambourine. Let's go to our next instrument. So we're gonna have a sound, and you're gonna guess 1, 2, or 3. So what is it? Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3? It is number 3. It's the trumpet. So our trumpet is part of the brass family. As you can see, I have my trumpet made of metal, and it is played through a mouthpiece. And if you're a brass player, every brass has the mouthpiece, and you're gonna do what we call lip slurs. But how do I make that sound on the mouthpiece? I can't just blow air through. Doesn't do anything. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the really fun thing where you go, but you're gonna pull back and make your embouchure. So if I pull back, that is what I use to make the sound. So, and if I put it up to my mouthpiece, and if I put it on my instrument, so as you see, I took a big breath. Again, it takes a lot of air because, again, the air has to go through all of this tubing. And then to play different notes, I push down these different valves, which connect to different chambers. And so I can either make my tubing technically longer or shorter by not pressing down these valves. Next is I Got Rhythm, where we are going to review some of the cool things that we've learned in these past weeks. Let's head over to the rhythm station. Welcome to the rhythm station. We're going to work on our one rhythm up on the board and then pick one from the beat box. So let me clap this rhythm for you first as you keep a steady beat. So 1, 2, ready, go. Let's try it again. So 1, 2, ready, go. So now let's work through our counting. We know we're in 4/4, so we are only going to go up to the number 4 when counting, and we know the beat by the quarter note. So the quarter note is what's marking the beat. So we know that every measure starts with number 1. And we have a bar line, so we know a new measure starts here, so we should also put a number 1. Get out of the way. Get your ones out of the way. Now, I have my half note here, and my half note is one sound that lasts 2 beats. So if it lasts 2 beats, how are we going to write that? Because I have 1 beat already written up here. I need to write my second beat because it lasts 2. But how am I going to say, hey, this is a half note and not 2 quarter notes? What am I going to do? I'm going to add my hyphen because it's connected. So this is 1, 2, something else. Is this like an and of 2? This is a quarter note. That means there's no sound for a full beat. So that means I'm on number 3. But how am I going to say, hey, you should have no sound instead of this is a quarter note? What am I going to add? I'm going to add parentheses around that 3. So if I'm done with beat 3, I'm moving on to beat 4. And the question is this a 5 or something else? It's something else. It's our and. So remember, it's 4 and it's in the same beat. I have 2 sounds in the same beat. So now I move on to my next measure. Again, on beat 1, it's a quarter note. Am I done with beat 1? I'm done with beat 1. I move on to beat 2. But I see that it's a quarter note rest, which means I need to add something. What do I need to add? My parentheses. And then, can I move on to my next beat? I can. So now I'm on number 3. And does my next beat look like beat 3? It does. So I have a number here. I'm going to add the next number, which is 4. So see that they may have different numbers, but they look the same. There's one symbol for that one note, whereas again, there's 2 symbols for these 2 notes. So let's clap and count our rhythm. So let's keep our steady beat. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try it again. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's pick from our beat box our challenge rhythm. I'm going to write it up on the board here. We're still in 4/4. So let's clap this rhythm. So 1, 2, ready, go. Let's clap one more time. So 1, 2, ready, go. Let's work on the counting. So again, I'm in 4/4, meaning I need to go up to the number 4. I don't go to the number 5, that's going too far. And my beat is going to be counted by my quarter note. So my quarter note gets the beat here. So my first thing is a quarter note, which is, it's the first thing in the bar, so it's on beat number 1. And again, I have a bar line representing a new measure, so again, I start again on the number 1. Get those ones out of the way. Now, if it's a quarter note, one sound within one beat, and I have one symbol here, am I done and can I move on to the next beat? I can. I move on to beat number 2. And what am I going to add to say, like, hey, there's no sound here? I'm going to add my parentheses. Because there's no sound, but the beat still happens. Remember, we wait for then the next beat. It's not that it's a rest, we skip the beat, doesn't matter. The beat still happens, and we'll have to wait for then beat 3. So moving on to my beat 3. Question, is this beat 4 or something else? It's something else. It's in, and finally, because now I have 2 symbols for my 2 sounds within a beat. So now I have this, my extra quarter note, so my quarter note is on beat number 4. And I don't need to add anything else. Remember, one symbol matches my one note. Now here's the real question. I put a 1 here for a quarter note. A quarter note is one sound that takes up 4 beats. So while a quarter note is one sound that takes up 1 beat, this whole note takes up 4 beats. But how am I going to say that? Because remember, if I would cover everything up, you should be able to read this rhythm exactly how you would read it up here. So how am I going to say, hey, this lasts for 4 beats? Well, I'm going to write in the rest of the numbers. Again, it's like that half note. And with the half note, what did I add? Because this looks like 4 quarter notes right now. So what do I add to make it connected? I add my hyphens. So let's clap and count this rhythm. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try it again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, we're back to the guests to play everyone's favorite game, Who's That Composer? So for our composer this week, I'm going to give you 3 clues about them. So your first clue is that they have written 74 compositions. It's a lot. And they have got their Masters of Music at Yale University School of Music. It's a really big university. And finally, they lived in Poland for a year. So who is it, you may guess? Well, it's none other than Sidney McTee. She is a local composer as she was born in Tacoma, Washington in 1953. Sidney McTee started to learn the piano at age 6 and switched to the saxophone a few years later. During college, Sidney met Krzysztof Penderecki, and he offered to give her composition lessons in return for teaching his children English. So she lived in Poland for a year with the Penderecki family. She's been described as a composer whose music reflects a charging, turning celebration of the musical and cultural energy of modern-day America. She brings to the world of concert music a fresh and imaginative voice. Let's listen to a segment of Finish Line, a composition written about several paintings, Giacomo Belli, and the paintings were about a passage of a speeding car. And after Sidney McTee wrote this piece, she went on a 6,000-mile road trip. And now we have our final segment, Miso Soup. Welcome to Miso Soup. Today we're going to be singing Frog in the Bog. So the solfege we'll need do, fa, sol, la, and we're going to do some new ones. So ti, like you're pointing up, and then we're up to do. So I'm going to sing it once with the lyrics, and then we're going to learn the solfege and then learn the lyrics. So, there once was a frog who jumped in a bog. He played on a fiddle in the middle of a puddle. What a diddle. Better go round, better go round. So let's learn the solfege. I'll sing a line and you'll sing it back. Do, fa, 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 sol, sol. Do, fa, 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 sol, sol. La, 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 ti, ti. La, 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 ti, ti. Do, 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 ti, 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 ti. Do, 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 ti, 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 ti. La, 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 so, 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 fa, fa. La, 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 so, 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 fa, fa. Do, 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 fa. Do, 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 fa. Do, 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 fa. Do, 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 fa. So let's learn the lyrics. So again, I'll sing a line and you'll sing it back. There once was a frog who, there once was a frog who jumped in a bog, he jumped in a bog, he played on a fiddle in the, played on a fiddle in the middle of a puddle, what a middle, middle of a puddle, what a middle. Better go round, better go round, better go round, better go round. So let's add our solfege and our lyrics together. There once was a frog who jumped in a bog. He played on a fiddle in the middle of the pile. What a middle. Better go round, better go round. Great singing. Well, I'll see y'all next time.